Hello everyone, and now welcome to game number 2 between Yumiko and Ted. Yumiko currently holding a 1-0 lead over Ted, as we see Ted spawning as the yellow undead player here at the 2 o'clock position. Meanwhile, here we have Yumiko spawning as the red human at the 5 o'clock position. This is going to be here on Twisted Meadows, as you guys can see, and the game is now underway. Game 1, a real marathon of a slow mid-game that really had Ted in the lead. You had him just ahead in multiple aspects, and then finally Yumiko was able to come out in the end using invisible heroes and a lot of flying machines to try and take down his opponent. Even though Ted was very smart in leaving behind many of those abominations to try and take out the hero, there was just nothing there. Alright, what's going to happen here? So far, Ted. Wow. Ted off over here, still setting up a crypt. There is that Altar of Darkness, and there is a Tomb of Relics. Meanwhile, down over here, Archmage already being trained up. You can see the barracks and the farm in here, as well as Yumiko is going to go ahead and try and militia creep out this creep camp relatively quickly. At the minute 45-second, I believe, is normally when the Archmage comes out, but this might actually be even a little bit earlier here, as we are now at the minute 30 with a couple more seconds to go before that Archmage does make his way out. So it is going to be a very fast militia creep, as Yumiko is looking to get ahead here. Alright, there goes a whole bunch of peasants. Archmage drops a water elemental and continues on his merry way. There is that water elemental now coming down. Are we going to see an engagement here? Try to pull some of that aggro. And how is he going to do that? There he goes. Goes after that mud golem first. And a lot of damage already being absorbed by that water elemental. Are we going to drop another water elemental? We should be. Not quite sure why we're not doing that there. There is that second water elemental, as the one water elemental has already absorbed enough damage. So far, Rock Golem attempting to take down this water elemental. It looks like it will get taken down. A Sobi Mask and a Tome of Experience already left behind. This is absolutely huge. If this was back when Tomes of Experience actually gave 140 or 160 experience, I believe, this Archmage would already be at level 3 right now. That is definitely not going to be the case here. You can see that this one Troll Trapper will end up getting taken down. Archmage does have a Sobi Mask, which means that he is going to have a lot of experience, and there is a Death Coil now already on that Archmage, as the Archmage now trying to get away. Archmage has to be very careful here, as fireballs are attacking and hitting down this Death Knight, but the Death Knight does get a Death Coil onto one of those units. So far, Militia now coming back around. Are we going to go ahead and call to arms? Yes, we are, as the Footman is attempting to fight back. Ted already pushing back, as the Archmage does not want to take any more damage at all, and he's actually playing extremely cautious, as the Death Knight's still running around. So far, we are sitting at tier 1, no quick tech to tier 2 yet, and now you see that the Footmen are actually attempting to take out that one poor Acolyte. The Acolyte will be able to back off, as a Crypt Fiend now is out on the field. Death Knight now still putting pressure inside the main base. Meanwhile, Yumiko keeping that Archmage alive by hiding him in the center portion of the map. Where is he going to be traveling to next? Not 100% sure, as the Archmage now backs off here. Alright, the Death Knight now trying to chase down that Footman off to the north, but none of the units are really in danger at all. It doesn't look like any player is really superly being aggressive here, as we can see that there was some skeletal minions taken down off over here. Not quite sure what that was about. We are going to also see the skeletal minions now just wandering around here, as the Death Knight is hoping, or wait, what's happening here? Is Ted going to be able to purchase it? No, Yumiko does end up purchasing both, but I believe Ted is going to end up getting the kills here. Alright, there's a quick Abolish Magic. There's another Abolish Magic. The Archmage may get to level 3. No, there goes a Death Coil onto the Troll Shadow Priest, though. The Death Knight is now sitting at level 1 still. Not yet quite halfway to level 2, and Yumiko is actually having a very easy time right now. Yumiko sitting at level 2, trying to get to level 3, has not worked out as of yet. He really wants those level 2 water elementals, as Ted aggroes the creeps again somehow. Ted now coming over, looking to chase down the Footman here. Alright, there is that Troll Berserker, high range damage, 28 to 37 damage. Militia now being called down as well. The Death Knight will be forced to run all the way back, as we are teching the Halls of the Dead already. Now, what is going to be happening here? We are looking at the Death Knight now making its way over. It looks as though the footmen are going to get a little bit tangled up here as the militia now trying to clear out the creep camp. All right, militia and water elementals are trying to clear out the creep camp. The Death Knight is now running in here. Has to be extremely careful. Is the Death Knight going to get any experience off of this creep camp? That is the question, as one low hit point footman now trying to get away. It looks as though the footmen are going to get away, and Yumiko is just having an easy time with this, absolutely, as there are low hit point crypt fiends. Archmage is now going to get to level 3, and I do not know how the Death Knight is going to gain some experience, aside from trying to steal some with a long-distance death coil. Ogre Magi down to 53 hit points. It does get taken down. Pure Up of Vitality will be left behind. Archmage already at level 3, well on its way to level 4. And this is huge. The Archmage with level 2 water elementals, a Sobi mask for extra mana and extra vitality from the Pure Up of Vitality. That Archmage is going to have a very, very easy time just trying to stay alive. Meanwhile, Ted's Death Knight is still sitting at level 1 yet, not yet a little bit more than halfway to level 2, and we are now looking at perhaps a Lich going to be added to the army. The Death Knight needs to find a way to get some experience without putting himself into danger, and it looks like he will actually be joining in this fight to try and do a little bit of creeping. Alright, the Death Knight now down to 60-70 mana. It looks like he will be going after this Ogre Warrior creep camp. The Death Knight needs to get to level 2 for that Unholy Aura. Unholy Aura does have a tremendous effect, as Ted, now sitting at level 2 here, has to be extremely careful. The Forest Troll Warlord, Water Elemental now coming in from the back by Yumiko, and there you have it. The Death Knight is sitting at level 2, does have Unholy Aura, and the Archmage going to gain all of this free experience from this half-crept out creep camp. Alright, the Death Knight now venturing back and forth as the Troll Trappers are now engaging against Yumiko's units here. Alright, it looks as though the Forest Troll Warlord will get taken down here. There's a Death Coil to try to steal it. Boots of Quelt the Loss plus 6 agility, and that should be enough to have him move slightly faster all around the map. Alright, let's see what's going to be happening here. The Death Knight now trying to make its way over. Tome of Experience now picked up by the Death Knight. Death Knight making up a lot of ground in terms of the experience war, as the Lich is now out. So far, somehow, Ted's level-headed playing is keeping him even in this game. It looks like the Death Knight could have fallen a number of times anywhere, and there goes one Water Elemental. A second Water Elemental will get taken down due to the time life, though. And that means no experience for that Death Knight. Alright, economic game. Yumiko wants a very, very long game, as we're about to cross the 8-minute mark. Archmage still sitting at level 3. And you can see that the Death Knight is off over here with an Obsidian statue and Liches, and a Lich and Crypt Fiends, in order to try and get just a little bit more experience. The Death Knight needs to somehow keep this army alive. You can see the Death Knight does have a potion of mana. I believe, I'm not sure if he purchased that or not, as we are looking at the Rock Golem now taken down, Tome of Knowledge, and also Scourge Bone Chimes. The Death Knight gonna generate some extra hit points while attacking, but as the only melee hero and unit in the game right now for the undead, that item will most likely be sold. Ted making a quick comeback into this game. You can see it, one Obsidian statue. What is happening here? These units are now just going to run back into the base most likely. And how is he going to do this? Ted is now just simply going to fly overhead and perhaps try and drop in behind enemy lines. This is going to be a rather risky play here, as there is a Zeppelin now coming in from Yumiko. Both of these players doing the same exact strategies, but it looks like Ted is just going to be slightly ahead here. And here we go. There is one Goblin Shredder. The Goblin Zeppelin needs to drop off the units, and it looks like it is going to end up dropping just within tower range. There you go, going after that Goblin Shredder. Where is that Goblin Shredder going? Oh, the Goblin Shredder now trying to run away. It looks like it will get taken down. There it goes, level 2 on the Lich. Death Knight is now out as well, as a Frost Nova does go down. Militia now trying to fight back off over here. Obsidian Statue is doing a lot of healing. That one Crypt Fiend absorbing a whole bunch of damage, but still staying alive. Where is the Zeppelin? Where is the rest of the heroes here? As you can see, the Zeppelin now trying to make its way over. Alright, a lot of damage to be had. Obsidian Statue has been taken down. There it goes here, as we are now looking at a very strong rush inside the undead base. Alright, Goblin Sappers quickly takes down one of those buildings. Wow, a very hard hit there, as Ted may end up losing this gold mine. coming back around. Ted is in a lot of trouble. He needs to be able to do something. He's not going to be able to scroll a town portal to save his bait or save his gold mine, as the gold mine, wait, the gold mine's still up though. It looked like there could be another goblin sapper on its way over the obsidian statue. You can see the halls of the dead and the spirit tower just doing a lot of damage here. A couple of low hit point units as the obsidian statue now making its way over. All right, so far that haunted gold mine now down to about half life. What's going to be happening next as the obsidian statues are now still trying to take this down? Another spirit tower going to be coming into play, and that is a lot of high damage on these high damage towers in the back here. 27 to 32 damage here. Triple water elementals with the help of that Asobi mask. Another water elemental could be dropped here in just a second, and it looks like another acolyte will get taken down. Archmage now sitting at level 4, just getting there, as we're looking at the Militia now making its way back over. All right, Militia now attempting to take down another Crypt Fiend. The Death Knight is now in position to try and intercept. Oh, the skeletal minions being brought up right in position to try and protect, as the Lich now gets to level 3. This is turning into a base race, but with the human player having 2 bases, I would naturally assume that the human player has the advantage. All right, more bases to save, but in comes the Scroll of Town portal. Where is that one Goblin Zeppelin? The Goblin Zeppelin now low, or very running away, and there it goes, able to escape. Archmage not going to bother with that water elemental there, and you can see Acolyte is trying, or Acolyte is now haunting some gold there, and is he also repairing it? I can't tell if that's haunting gold or what he's doing there. Let's see. It looks like he is just repairing. He is not getting any gold from that gold mine right now. All right. Yes. No. Yes. Finally getting some gold off of that gold mine. Death Knight is now going to come back over for a little bit of aggression. Meanwhile, the Archmage only has one other footman there. Let's take a look. 27 over 60 supply compared to 38 over 40. Somehow Ted is sticking around and now getting the lead, even though he is behind economically. Yumiko having a lot of gold in the, or should have a lot of gold in the bank, but with no real units, this is going to be a problem. It is now 1 base to 1 base, as the Crypt Fiends and the Lich is back here putting pressure onto Yumiko's base. Ted is going to take this game unless he is stopped, as now the footmen are all down over here. Goblin Sapper is looking like they are ready to go again, but how much damage can they really do? There are a whole bunch of spirit towers, and they are all in opposite corners. In come the footmen. There is that one Goblin Sapper. Let's take a look at him, and he's running in. Is he going to be able to make it in? It looks like he is being slowed, and it looks like one gold mine is going to get taken down. So far, this is not looking good at all. Footmen are now trying to take down this gold mine. It is not looking good at all, as the Archmage trying to push in through. All right, this is looking very, very bad. This is looking very bad here for the Archmage. Archmage will end up losing a lot of units, and it looks like Ted has taken down the main town hall down over here. All right, Water Elemental is attempting to take down this Acolyte. Acolyte is trying to pull back, as Yumiko does call the GG. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed game number 2. Please stay tuned for game number 3.